This is Sarah Meixel with the Pig Site, and today we're here with Dr. Jay Miller. He is the Vice President of Health and Operations at the Maschhoffs. So thanks very much for being with us today, Jay.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Very good. And we're here at AASV in Atlanta, and you just spoke to the group. Can you tell me a little bit about your talk?
Sure. Today got the opportunity to share with my peers to discuss some of how we identify biosecurity risk and how do we make improvements in our system at the Maschhoffs.
Very good. And what were some of the key messages that you talked about?
Yeah, some of the key messages would be there's multiple ways to identify risk to our systems. The presentations ahead of mine were more based on what do you do when there is an outbreak, and my presentation is we want to prevent the outbreak of a disease. So we focus very heavily on biosecurity. And to continue to make improvement in our system, we will continue to monitor the risks that are at our breed to wean facilities. Those risks are gathered by several different methods. We use assessments on an annual basis. We will use healthy herd visits. We use RVA, which is remote video auditing. And then we compile all the risks that we see, improvements that need to be done into a biosecurity matrix. That matrix is a list of all of our assets along with all the different things and procedures and improvements that could be done to reduce risk to those farms. Once we have that, and when we take those assessments and decide based on cost which ones we can afford to do. Some of them are very inexpensive, take very little effort, and we will implement those right away. Others take a significant amount of capital improvement, and we will fill out what we call a CER, a capital expense request, to make those improvements on our farms.
Very good. And we heard this kind of idea of when an outbreak happens, that's an opportunity, right? To make some change, right? People seem
Correct.
To be more open. Can you talk a little bit about that on the farms that you guys deal with, or do you find that to be true?
It is true. I mean, again, disease are very costly to our system. It's not good for the pig, nor is it good for our financial, our financial gain in the industry. When we have an outbreak, we do a very thorough investigation. We go through and we try to look for what was the root cause, and we try to prevent it in the future. Unfortunately, a lot of times we don't find the root cause. But in the meantime, we find tremendous amount of opportunities for improvement into the processes of biosecurity and into our breed to wean assets. So when we do have an investigation, it makes us better. It is financially not rewarding. However, we do tend to find ways to improve ourselves.
Very good. And it sounds like it's a coordinated effort. You have farms in a lot of different locations, so
Correct.
That makes it even harder, right?
Yeah, honestly, I have a wonderful team of veterinarians and animal care associates that will continue to monitor our farms on a regular basis on these visits. And so it is a team effort. And then the other thing is this team comes together on a quarterly basis, and we make an effort to say, hey, what are the biosecurity improvements that we need to push or improve on our farms?
Very good. And what advice do you give to other veterinarians kind of when it comes to biosecurity? What's the number one thing that you tell people?
Yeah, and again, I had it in my talk, is create a routine. I mean, force yourselves into a routine to assess yourself. Make sure you're looking at opportunities to keep the risk events to a minimum. What can you do to reduce the risk to your farm?
Right, so that just day-to-day things that people are doing are so important, right?
Correct. Execution of the basics, showers, UV chambers, clean trucks arriving, truck drivers understanding what biosecurity, all those things that we do on a day-to-day basis to move pigs, they're vital to the farm.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you so much for all the information today, Jay. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
This is Sarah Meixel with the Pig Site.